The next question, the member for Davenport.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Premier. This government has bungled nearly everything they have touched, including our kids' education. Joining the long list of failed schemes like glow-in-the-dark vanity plates and stickers that don't stick is now the government's so-called financial assistance plan for parents. We have heard from parents frustrated that they're not receiving the funds they were promised. They're getting rejection letters with no information for why they're being rejected. I suppose it's not a shock that this government's half-baked scheme to buy off parents for their failure to get a deal with teachers is a complete disaster. Premier, why won't you just reverse your cuts, get back to the bargaining table, and make things right for our students?
Minister of Education to respond.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this government is absolutely committed to providing financial support for parents through the union-led escalation. That is the right thing to do. What the member opposite did not disclose is her opposition to that concept, to the principle of giving monies back into the pockets of working parents who have done nothing wrong at all, and yet members in this House would rather they pay the price of union-led escalation. The only ideological commitment is the New Democrat support for unions when they should be on the side of working parents in this province. Speaker, that is why our government, I'm proud to report, over 750,000 applications have been received supporting families in every region of the province. Up to $60 per day to help those parents, while we remain absolutely focused on the real objective.
Opposition come to order.
That keeps kids in class.
The supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, no one believes them. No one believes them. Speaker, this morning, media are reporting that even more parents are struggling.
Stop the clock. Both sides of the House must come to order. Restart the clock. Apologize to the member for Davenport.
Speaker, this morning, media are reporting that even more parents are struggling to have their children verified by the ministry. Those parents are being directed to an automated phone line that tells them that the ministry can't help them. So much for looking out for parents. This government ignored what parents had to say in their sham consultations, and they ignored students who are upset with lost courses and less one-on-one education. Their entire education agenda has been one boondoggle after another. Will the Premier stop his cuts, get back to the negotiating table, and get our kids back to class?
Minister of Education again to reply.
Mr. Speaker, the government is always committed to getting a deal. In fact, on Monday we went to the negotiating table with a mission to drive that outcome. However, Mr. Speaker, what has become ever so clear is that the
opposition come to order.
We're prepared to impede progress of a deal because of a benefit enhancement ask. OSSTF's website has a request of 6%. If we took that, now ETFO, according to the Global Mail, is at 7%. Let's take the 6% number for the purpose of this data. If you provincialize that in
The House will come to order. Minister of Education, please wind up.
A 6% increase in benefits, Mr. Speaker, which represents over $600 million to the taxpayer over the course of that contract. That is incompatible, inconsistent with what taxpayers want us to advance, which is a fair deal for our workers, but a good deal for our students. And that's exactly what we're committed to doing in this negotiation, Speaker.